What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out Meet the Littoral combat ship, the U.S. Navy's $500 million warship. Holy crap. This is by the legendary U.S. Military News. If you haven't seen their videos before, then you're really missing out, especially if you're really into military equipment. When we were, I don't know, what was it, like 3 months ago, we were doing a lot of videos on aircraft and stuff like that, and the US Military News videos were always peak, in my opinion, when it comes to that type of genre. So if you haven't already, link down below to the original video, go over to their channel, give it some love, go and subscribe to them. Very important that you do that. This is about 11 minutes long. I don't know much about this warship. It looks really cool and futuristic. So yeah, let's learn about it. Let's figure out what they're doing. We've been doing a lot of gun videos recently and like current affair videos. And I kind of missed that a few months ago when we were doing aircraft and equipment. So I wanted to just kind of circle back and do a video. I get a lot of requests to do more of these videos where we're talking about vehicles in the military. You know, we did a lot of ships, we did a lot of planes and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's nice to come back and learn a little bit more. And also kind of keep up to date. Like, I'm willing to watch more videos on some of the ships and aircrafts and stuff like that we've done in the past, just to kind of, like, learn more stuff about them, because I really enjoyed that part of this YouTube channel. So let's pop this up. Let's have a look. I haven't got anything to announce just yet, but I got a lot of stuff coming up. So just stay tuned. Get hyped. I've got something really good to show you very soon. I just got the full edit for something, this new project I'm working on. Oh, it looks so good. You have to wait for that, though.
Meet the Littoral combat ships. U.S.
Littoral. Littoral. Where's that name from? Littoral.
Navy's 500 million small surface combatants.
Sam Wilson, the narrator. Shout out. This is a cool looking ship.
More than 17 years ago, the U.S. Navy christened the first of a new class of warship designed to operate in near-shore environments.
I just want to go back and watch that. I love when people do that, when they hit the bottle of the ship. It goes all over the place.
The U.S. Navy christened the
Where
first
is
of a
it?
new...
Let's see it again. Let's see it again, just for the fun of it. Dink.
More than 17 years ago, the U.S. Navy christened the first of a new class of warship designed to operate in near-shore environments.
Whoa.
The so-called littoral combat ships, or LCS, would be fast and agile, capable of countering 21st century coastal threats such as missile-firing boats, small submarines, and mines. The LCS is a class of small surface combatants equipped with capabilities specifically designed to address global challenges in littoral regions.
Interesting.
The LCS is intended to facilitate joint force access in these littorals.
So what does littorals even mean then? Let me do a cheeky Google. I've never heard of it before. Meaning. Relating to or situated or growing on a near shore, especially of the sea. Interesting. What is the difference between coastal and littoral? A littoral zone includes the intertidal zone extending from the high water mark. This image. So the whole thing is littoral zone. I didn't know this. The coastal area is like here. This is a really good picture here. Is there more pictures similar to it? Well, that says something different, that picture. Which is very interesting. So it's basically the beach. It's basically the beach. The part of a river, lake, or sea close to the land. Why have I never heard that word before? Littoral.
Either independently or within high-threat environments as part of a networked battle force that includes larger multi-mission surface combatants. The LCS has been a controversial program from its...
Controversial program. The shape of that ship is crazy, isn't it? Look at it.
inception, experiencing delays and cost overruns not to mention severe criticism from elements of the national security community. Perhaps no ship in recent memory has been subject to more criticism than the LCS. Many think LCS is the wrong ship at the wrong time. Some compare the ship to a guided missile frigate and find it wanting. Others think the Navy would be better served with fast attack craft or small corvettes festooned with anti-ship missiles.
I mean, people are going to have different opinions on what you need. I think, although, sorry, I'm still a bit phlegmy from being sick last week. I do think that it's very easy to have an opinion on what the Navy should need. But at the same time, all your opinions go out the window depending on the situation, right? Obviously, with the Navy, it's always going to be worries from the sea, right? Obviously. But it depends on who you're fighting. Depends on where you are in the world. Like, there's a lot of different variables that they have to tick. So just saying, oh, we need more smaller craft or we need more of this is a bit of a generalization, isn't it, really?
Others believe a purpose-built single-mission vessel is the best choice for the mine warfare mission. All of these alternatives would be potentially attractive choices, provided the Navy's future fleet had a need for such ships. Instead, the U.S. Navy needs a different component for its battle force, an affordable, self-deployable, and reconfigurable multi-role warship designed for naval battle network operations in contested littorals.
Contested littorals. What has this word just slipped by me? I've never heard of littorals before. Maybe it's because I wasn't actually part of the Navy. I was in the Royal Marines, which is technically part of the Navy. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't 24/7 on a ship like most Navy people are. I was on a ship just doing anti-piracy. But littorals, I've just never heard of that word before.
An idea is born. In 2003, the Navy launched its first experimental LCS, Seafighter, designated as a Fast Seaframe, or FSF-1.
That's a weird-looking ship.
As the Oliver Hazard Perry, Osprey-class mine hunter, and Avenger-class mine countermeasure ships were reaching the end of their lives, the U.S. Navy released the LCS requirement. Lockheed Martin and General Dynamics submitted design.
The classics were always there, weren't they? Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics. They're always lingering around waiting for something to be needed.
Proposals. Two competing designs were selected for the LCS program, one from Lockheed Martin based on a monohull, and another from General Dynamics, later acquired by Austal USA, based on a trimaran hull design.
So what's the benefit of that design then? I mean, I guess that's probably not relevant to this video, is it really?
These two designs represented different approaches to achieving the Navy's requirements for speed, flexibility, and modularity. The ultimate decision was to fund both designs as two variants of the class. Secretary of the Navy Gordon R. England announced that the first LCS would be named USS Freedom. LCS-1 was commissioned on November 8, 2008 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The LCS-2 ship was commissioned on January 6, 2010 in Mobile, Alabama.
Interesting.
Striking a balance. One of the issues with littoral combat ships is their lack of firepower, and when combined with the aluminum hull of the Independence variants, concerns about ship survivability persist.
Yeah, so they're a bit more vulnerable. I mean, again, this is something that's got to be use case based, right? So, like, obviously they're going to be in that specific littoral zone. I'm gonna use that word quite a lot these days. The littoral zone. They've got to be good in that area, right? So what does that mean? Land to sea missiles, right? Threats from the land is super important. So I'm not sure how that would translate to the defense of the ship and how that looks compared to a ship that is out in the water 24/7 in the middle of nowhere, right? Like, is it a use case thing? Is that the reason why some of these cuts have been made and it's hasn't got as much weaponry on it, right? Someone will know in the comments. Someone will.
The Navy's worked to address those issues and has consistently upgraded the original platform to allow it to accommodate a wider range of weapon systems.
Woo!
The Navy continues its efforts to improve LCS capabilities with a recent focus on testing a new combat system. This system aims to qualify the Littoral combat ship for military missions through a series of upcoming live fire exercises, ultimately enhancing the ship's readiness for major maritime warfare by better integrating streamlining and improving on board. Part of the effort includes the introduction of new government-furnished equipment, likely intended to improve fire control, targeting, and integration across a group of shipboard weapon systems, such as CRAM. The ship-launched Sea Whiz uses a phalanx gun capable of firing 4,500 small projectiles per minute to blanket an area.
So much tax money's just gone then. That was a lot of tax that just got fired, wasn't it?
In contrast, the CRAM replaces the gun with larger, longer-range rolling airframe missiles. Unlike the Sea Whiz, it uses a 20mm cannon to shoot down threats close to a ship.
Oh my
CRAM
God.
fires a rolling airframe missile from an 11-missile battery. The rolling airframe missile is what defense experts call a fire-and-forget missile, meaning it uses radio frequency detection technology along with a heat-seeking infrared sensor to find its way toward an approaching threat in order to intercept and destroy it.
Magic. That's what it does. It uses magic to find out where the enemy is. That's when I hear this stuff. As someone who was in the Royal Marines who doesn't have that much of a clue about this technology. And I have a good understanding of technology. I did computer science at school and all that lot, right? I literally went to get a bachelor's degree in computer science. Like, I know this. I know a lot of technical jargon, right? But sometimes you look at something and you're just like, it's wizardry. It's wizardry. It's magic. I don't know how they've done it. It's magic.
In 2019, the Navy installed the Naval Strike Missile on the San Diego base Gabriel Giffords. The missile weighs slightly over 880 pounds and has a range of more than 115 miles. Despite the NSM having a greater range than the Harpoon anti-ship missile, LCSs lack long-range fire control systems to detect targets at such distances. The potential evolution of littoral combat ships is highlighted by the likely use of the Standard Missile 6, also known as an SM-6. On September 18, 2023, the Independence-class LCS Savannah departed San Diego with unconventional cargo on its flight deck, a 40-foot-long gray container and a trailer-mounted radar, both connected by long neon orange cables to the vessel's superstructure.
Weird. Look at that. What are they doing?
The U.S. Pacific Fleet later confirmed a successful test launch of SM-6 supersonic missiles in the Eastern Pacific, signaling a way that the lightly armed ship class could one day contribute to a conventional naval battle.
Fair one.
Naval Surface Forces said the test is part of ongoing experimentation to see if a mobile launch system could work aboard ships like LCS. Despite these advancements, the costly nature of the LCS class poses challenges for the Navy, hindering its ability to fulfill the originally envisioned missions. Nevertheless, with advanced core weapon systems, broad combat capabilities, and the latest in hull design and propulsion systems, as stated on Navy.mil, the LCS is positioned and ready for a variety of missions, whether in littoral waters or deep seas. Core ship weapons.
I feel like it's one of them really kind of bizarre ships that it has a role, but it's not very standout. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've put $500 million into this. And I get it. Like, I feel like when it comes to military spending, the numbers just go up quite easy, don't they? It just seems like a bit of a jack of all trades, doesn't it? Do you get what I mean? Like, it's not really like perfect to anything. Like, everyone's got gripes with it. And I guess, is that just modern dialogue of military equipment though? No one's really happy, are they? No one's really content with new equipment. Like, even stuff like the F-35, like, people are like, oh my God, this thing's like magic. But then some people are like, well, it's not very good at this and blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost as if like the modern dialogue is just a bit more pessimistic. Does that make sense? Because if we had something like this 20, 30, 40 years ago, it would have been the bee's knees. Do you know what I mean? And I understand that technology changes, you need to upgrade. What I'm saying is the dialogue, if we had something equivalent to this, but from the technology back then, I think the dialogue around it would have been a bit better. It would have been a bit more positive. Do you know what I mean?
Core ship weapons on a modern naval vessel play a crucial role in both defensive and offensive capabilities. One prominent component is the 57mm Mark 110 gun system, capable of firing automatic salvos at up to 220 rounds per minute. The Mark 110 gun mount delivers high rates of fire with extreme accuracy, making it effective against surface, airborne, and shore-based threats.
That's
the
crazy.
Ram 116 Ram on the Freedom variant enhances the vessel's self-defense capabilities. Designed as a high firepower, low-cost self-defense system against anti-ship cruise missiles and other asymmetric threats, the Ram is a crucial component. Meanwhile, the Independence variant class is equipped with the C-Ram. Recently, the C-Ram system has also been installed on the latest version of the Freedom class LCS.
That Freedom class one, I kind of like the design. I know the other one looks a bit more futuristic because of the weird bottom part to it. I almost think that looks cooler, though. I think that it's just more classic and more like, I don't know. Like, you know what you get with a ship like that, especially because I've been on a ship. Like, the other one's a bit too futuristic for my liking, I think.
The LCS is also fitted with the Alex decoy system.
What's that?
Surface warfare. In addition to the ship's organic weapon systems, the surface warfare package includes 30mm gun systems, 11-meter rigid hull inflatable boats, surface-to-surface missile module, MH-60R equipped with Hellfire missiles, and Fire Scout vertical takeoff unmanned aerial vehicle. The surface warfare mission module is intended to deal with small boats and is called the best swarm killer in the surface fleet.
Well, that's pretty damn cool. The best swarm killer. I mean, it makes sense. Small boats are going to be closer to the shore, aren't they? Like, it makes sense to have some sort of capability like that. They're going to be closer to the littoral. I'm going to use that word so much.
Mine countermeasures. The mine countermeasure module is designed to provide mine sweeping, remotely detecting and bypassing mines, and mine hunting, detecting, and disabling. It was envisioned to perform influence mine hunting via acoustic and magnetic signatures rather than contact or mechanical mine hunting.
Weird.
The mine countermeasure includes the airborne laser mine detection system, airborne mine neutralization system, remote mine hunting system, unmanned influence sweep system, and knifefish unmanned underwater vehicle.
Jesus.
These cutting-edge systems...
That's a vehicle? An unmanned vehicle, obviously. Unless you're the Slender Man in there.
collectively contribute to the Navy's mine countermeasure capabilities in littoral environments.
Weird.
AntiSubmarine Warfare. Littoral combat ships were supposed to be equipped to hunt and destroy submarines with an interlinked package of sonar devices, helicopters, and torpedoes.
Whoa.
But the systems didn't effectively communicate with one another. The towed sonar couldn't function properly in the vessel's wake, and the Freedom class is considered too loud to hunt submarines.
Oh.
The Navy canceled that function in 2022.
That's interesting.
Retirement.
That's an interesting take, considering where this ship is supposed to be kind of utilized. I guess mines obviously make sense because it's going to be shallower water to some extent. But submarines is a bit of a... Does it really need that?
The Navy has tried retiring many of the littoral combat ships years before they reach their expected lifespan. Ships designed to last for 25 years are being mothballed after less than a decade of service. According to the Congressional Budget Office, each ship cost about $500 million, some more than $600 million, after factoring in the mission package.
And they're not even lasting 10 years? Wow.
I don't think we're going to be decommissioning many that are all sunshine, no rain clouds, said Mark Montgomery, a retired Navy Rear Admiral and a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracy's think tank. I'm pretty confident that we're decommissioning things that are maintenance burdens. Among those that have been retired are the USS Freedom, USS Independence, USS Coronado, USS Milwaukee, USS Detroit, USS Sioux City, and more.
Wow. Where do they put them when they retire? Is there like a graveyard of ships?
Ahead, the Navy plans to decommission many other LCS warships, citing their ineffective anti-submarine warfare systems, inability to fulfill the Navy's missions, frequent breakdowns, and structural failures in high-stress areas of the ships.
That's horrific. Absolutely horrific. Like, think about where that money could have gone to instead. Making better ships, first and foremost.
The future of the LCS remains uncertain. Only time will tell if these ships will become obsolete.
It probably will. A very strange video. I'm very torn between... let's let this finish real quick. Great video. Obviously, it's US military news. I'll leave a link down below to their channel. It's one of the best channels on YouTube when it comes to military equipment, military vehicles. So go over and check them out. They really are fantastic. Yeah, the ship itself, I'm very like... I don't know. It's a very strange utilization of a ship, right? This littoral combat zone is it's the beaches, right? The beaches are a very contested area of water. And there's so many different, you could say, vehicles or bits of equipment that specialize in that area. And so it's almost as if this had a specific need. Then it got generalized. It got critiqued for not being generalized enough. And then ultimately put in the trash. It's a very strange one, that one, isn't it? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on something like this. Let me know if you've seen one before. Let me know if you've been on one before. And let me know your thoughts on where they should go forward with something like this. The world is getting more unstable, and so knowing that the Navy is robust and has good equipment is very important. Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.